Just a moment. Okay, so we're live. Hello, YouTube. Hello, everyone. I am Victoria. I'm the host here on this immersion. I've been on Talk and Talk for almost 4 years, I guess, now, and I've been loving to study here as a host. It's been a nice place to train my English, to train my confidence speaking in English, because since I arrived here on Talk and Talk, I have taken another English courses. I understood a lot. I knew how to speak, but my conversation skills, they were terrible because I didn't have the opportunity to talk and to train. And now here it's a great place for me to meet new people and to talk about topics that I wouldn't talk about on my daily life. And also my speaking skills have improved a lot since I began here. A little bit about myself. I live in Floripa. I'm 28. I have my own business. On my free time, I like to take my dog for a walk. I've been testing new sports. I've been loving to take new challenges, and it's been a nice year, almost the middle of the year, but it's been a great year. I'm happy about it. So, Andrea, could you talk about yourself, please?
Yes, good evening, guys. My name is Andrea. I have the same feeling about the English skills, Vicky. I've been attending on Talk and Talk since October 2021, and I've been noticing that I am improving a lot. Of course, I need to improve more because sometimes I forgot the words. Sometimes I don't feel that I'm feel stuck, but I know that I am improving. We feel that. So it's a really great opportunity to be here every day, meeting new people and making friends. And I work as an administrative assistant in a Japanese restaurant. I am married, I don't have kids, I don't have pets as well. And I like listening to music, drink wine, cooking, and going to rock concerts. That's it.
Very nice. Thank you, Andrea. Jefferson, what about you? You're muted.
I need to turn on my microphone. I'm Jefferson. I'm 44 years old. I'm married. I have four wonderful kids and one dog. I live in Sorocaba and I work in some cities like São Paulo, Belo Horizonte, and sometimes Miami. I'm an IT manager, work with technology for 20 years. And out of my work, I like to play music and cooking.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you, Jefferson. Juliano.
Good evening. My name is Juliano. I am 21. I am science and technology student. I work as IT intern, and I really like to play video game on my computer or in my cell phone. I like to study. I like to watch movies and do a lot of other stuff. I like sometimes to work out in the gym. Um, what else? Yes, I think that's all.
That's great. Thank you, Juliano. Thanks a lot. So, guys, tonight we're talking about what if we could see ourselves the other way that people see us. So, let's begin with question number one. Andrea, please. How do you think others perceive you?
Oh, it's a difficult question.
It is.
I think I think people perceive me like a friendly person, you
Mhm.
know, a person that likes to help and they can count on when they need. I think I am really friendly in this part.
That's very nice. Very nice. What about you, Juliano?
Uh, about me, I think it's hard to talk about everyone that know me, but I think I don't know, maybe people think about me as a person that really like to smile, to laugh, because I really like to to have fun, to play with my friends, something like that I really like. And yes, I think that's is the maybe it's the main characteristic that I have, that is smile a lot, laugh, play. I really like.
Are you an extrovert person?
I think depends, because I think I don't know what I am, because sometimes I feel like I am very, extrovert, but other times I feel I like that I am very introvert guy. So I don't know. Maybe I think I am, insecure sometimes, to to be what I am. I think that's it, because I think if I was introvert, maybe I would be introvert in all kind of situation, like a constant. But if I have moments that a lot of moments that I'm very outgoing, very extrovert, I think maybe I have some insecurity, and when I work it out, I gonna be maybe thoroughly outgoing, extrovert. I don't know.
Yeah, I understand you, because if you ask some friends of mine, they're going to tell you that I'm an extrovert person, but I don't consider myself as an extrovert. It feels like sometimes when I with a group of friends that I already know, or in a place that I feel comfortable, I'm an extrovert person. But if I'm in a place or with a group of people for the first time, I consider myself introvert, because I like to read the scenario and people to understand, and how to act to make myself feel comfortable. So it depends.
Yeah, I think I am like you.
Yeah. Jefferson, what about you? How do you think other people see you?
I have no idea. I don't know. I like just to speak or take conversation with another person. I like to make presentation in my work from a big groups. I don't have problem with this, but I think this question is more than this point. So it's difficult to say, because the other person see me. I don't. I have no idea how this point occurs, but uh, I don't know. I,
So have you ever received the internal feedback from your coworkers, or maybe your friends, your family, to understand how they see you, what they think about you, your personality?
oh, of course, maybe some people said, "Oh, you are a extroverted person," and probably yes. Um, uh, uh, I'm so happy all the time. So normally I smile, or I'm, I try to make the environment better, and the high, I don't know, um, make all the people to high yourself. So, but I don't know if this point defining how the other person um, have the perceptive about me. It's difficult. Discussion is so difficult. I agree with Andreas. It's, it's more comfortable to say about the other persons. It's more difficult to say about yourself. So
Yeah.
uh, I passed this question.
I took a personality test this week to understand what kind of leadership I what kind of leader I am, what kind of leadership I pronounce. And the questions were like, what kind of person do you think it is? And there were a bunch of adjectives. And the other part, it was, what kind of person do you think people see you? So it's very hard for us, even though people say things about us and talk to us, it's very hard to really understand what people thinks about us. It's not easy to make that judgment because sometimes in work, most of the time, it's hard to people be like 100% transparent and open to everything they say. Not easy. So, Juliano, do you tend to be harder on yourself than other people are on you?
Let me think. Yes, I think so, you know. I think a lot of times I used to I am trying to change, but in the past a lot of times I used to think, oh, I am not good enough, you know, something like that, you know. And a lot of people used to talk to me, oh, but you can do it, something like that, you know, trying, you know, support me. But I used to have this feeling a lot. Nowadays I don't have so much, but I always I think I have, but a different way, you know, because for example, I am studying some subject, something, you know, but I feel like I'm not prepared yet, no, I'm not ready, you know, and I used to think it when I was learning in the beginning of the beginning English, you know. I remember that when I get this course of talk and talk, I was from social program, you know, and I got the program that time, and I remember that I just went for to a immersion in the last day, you know, because I remember we in the past we had we used to post on LinkedIn, you know,
Mhm.
every week. And I think I just went for the immersion on Saturday, you know, in when I was in the 7 day, 6 day, you know. So because I really don't want to go because I felt like I'm not good enough. I wasn't good enough. I used to think, you know. So I think sometimes I study, I try to learn something new, prepare myself, but when I need to do, you know, I have these bad thoughts, you know. So
Why do
yeah.
you think that sometimes it's easier for us to encourage our friends than ourselves? Like if it was a friend having trouble with this, it was easier to encourage him than it was harder to encourage yourself going to attending the immersion because you were maybe, I don't know, shy or afraid to speak in English.
Yes, this is a good question. I don't know. When I think about it, I think like I need to help people, but I am a person, but
Yeah.
you know, I feel like I don't know. I need to help my friend. I need to help someone, you know, work it out some fear, something like that. But like you said, sometimes when ourselves are passing some kind of trouble, we, you know, have this kind of behavior. You know, it's very hard to think why. I really, I really don't know.
Yeah, it's something for all of us to think about because we put so much pressure on ourselves in general, and we are like the biggest judges of ourselves and our lives. Jefferson, how do you feel about this?
Uh, about the question 4, or the
It's
question 3.
number 3.
3. Uh, I think no. Uh, Normally, I no pay attention if other person not approve, for example, my behavior or my attitude, or if I make a mistake or not, for good way and for a bad way. For example, if I cook, I don't know, dessert, and everybody say, "Oh, it's so tasty," but I don't like it, so for me it's bad. Oh, but everybody say it's good, so for me it's bad, so it's bad. And the opposite, the same. Oh, I cook a meal and say, "Oh, it's so beautiful, a wonderful barbecue," and everybody say, "Oh, so hard and the bad oh, bad smell." But if I like, okay, it's good. But everybody say is bad. Uh, for me, it's okay. Normally, I'm I make more value in my opinion than everybody, and maybe this makes sound arrogant, but isn't. Um, because for me, if another person make pressure in me, I need to accept this pressure. But if I accept, probably this pressure make me bad. So in this case, it's better wrong with my ideas, my conviction, and not accept the pressure, the external pressure. My pressure is enough for everything what I need to do.
Yeah, actually, it's very nice because sometimes we count too much on what other people say or what other people think about us. But the main point is what we think about ourselves and to be confident about it. But like everything in life in general, we can't be like uh, or 80 or 8 we if somebody talks about a lot about something about us, it's important for us to, oh, let me understand it, does it really make sense, or this person just like saying bad stuff about me. Sometimes people are just annoying us, but other times, for example, in a relationship, for example, if your partner is saying a lot, one thing it's important to stop and think, oh, does this really make sense? Let me think about it. Maybe I can change or not change. Maybe we can talk to share another point of view that I don't have, or maybe my partner don't have. But it's very nice.
For sure, of course, in all case, it's important the balance,
Yeah,
and
sure.
for sure, a lot of times I have my opinion in, with my wife, for example, but I accept the other position um, all the time. It's the normal, is the normal with all marriages. But it's necessary the balance. But um, in my intern, I don't know, I have clarified my opinion and my position. Of course, sometimes I make different, but I know what I want, what I am, and what I am not.
That's great. That's great. That's very important because maybe sometimes we don't know what we want, but we know what we don't want. And that's very important
Yes.
because keeps us from taking wrong paths or paths that we don't want for our life. That's very nice.
Yes, and the same way what I am and what I am not. Because
Yeah.
I say for my kids, for example, um, you are a smart guy, and if other persons say, "Oh, you are a rock," aren't a rock. You are a smart guy. So the other person can say this for a lot of time. These words don't have a condition to change you. You are a
Yeah.
smart guy, and that's it. If another person said a different words, forget because you are a smart guy, and that's it. So for me, it's so important to have the I don't know the word. You need to know I am what I am and what I am not. This is
Yeah,
the point.
sure. Especially when you're raising kids, for kids, it's important to show your kids how to have self-esteem, self-value, not to let other, because kids can also be very hard on themselves. So it's important to show them that.
For sure.
Andrea, what about you, Andrea? Tell me everything.
Yes, I think it's really about the confidence, When
Yeah.
we are confident, we tend to trust more in ourselves. But I am a person that, of course, push myself so hard, too hard. I am working on it, and I know that I've been improving this part, but I used to be, really hard. I always think that I am not good enough, and sometimes I was so how can I say that, guys? I have a big lack of confidence, that
Mhm.
I just needed to listening from someone. Oh, Andrea, you did it great. You know, all the time I need something to approve myself. And it's really bad because can you imagine it? Do everything in your life waiting for someone approve you or not. So it's not good, So I needed to change this behavior and thank God I've been improving a lot. I think Talk and Talk helps me in this part as well because when we start being more confident, everything can change, all the
Yeah.
environment, not
For
only
sure.
about to speak in English, I am not talking just about the language, but about the things that you used to do in your life, For example, going a concerts alone, guys. I have never imagined it do it, And nowadays I do and I love it. I had a trip for Italy alone, completely alone, and I didn't have this English that I have now. It's bad, my English, I know that, but in that time
It's not.
was worst, So it's something that if you stop to think, oh my gosh, I need to be proud of myself, because I've been achieving something that I have never thought about. So sometimes we need to thinking that every day it's you do something for you and you need to celebrate that no matter it's big or small, so we need to celebrate our achievements, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, sometimes I don't know. I am so inspired.
It's hard to talk after you, Andrea. I admire you a lot. And I really connected to what you said about the confidence is not about only the language, but here now, for example, we have to be confident enough to open up ourselves in an
Yeah,
online room to talk about this stuff, to talk about our vulnerabilities. And it's important to do that. I guess I talked about this with you a few weeks ago, but when you have to do something, for example, study English, it's important for us not only to wait for other people validation, like, oh, okay, your English is good, or only you see, oh, I'm not fluent yet, but to celebrate the process, like, okay, I'm not fluent, but I've been in two immersions this week. Every week I'm attending an immersion. Every week I'm studying at least 1, 2 hours. Every week I'm going 3 times to the gym, for example. It's not only the final thing, it's not only the final validation, is like, are you doing the path, the process? Are you taking the small steps? Because you're gonna only gonna achieve something big by taking small steps. So it's important for us to celebrate the steps that we're taking to regain our confidence in ourselves, because if we only depend on somebody's validation, we're going to feel so bad and maybe give up in a lot of stuff like studying in English or studying
Yeah.
for a promotion, working for a promotion, study for an exam, something like that.
Yeah, I agree, Vicky. And when we realize that, it's like a freedom, you know. Oh, I don't need to wait for someone to say that I am good or not, you know. I just need to believe in myself and go on.
Yeah, yeah. And talking about this, Andrea, do you think that we're good at judging our own strengths? Are you good in
Mm,
your own strengths to realize and to speak about them?
Now I can say that I am good on it to understand what I am capable to do, but it was not like that, I need to admit. You know, as I said before, it was really difficult for me, you know, to keep going, to do my things because I was always thinking about the others people thought about myself. This is the word, I think, you know. So nowadays, no. Oh, Andrea, you can do it. You know, you have already achieving something that you cannot imagine it before. So just go. And I don't think since it's judgment, it's always a bad thing. I think sometimes we need to have this reflection. You know, I think it's really
Yeah,
important because sometimes we get stuck and maybe we need a push, or I don't know if push,
yeah,
just forgot to help us, you know. So maybe if you have this reflection, judging yourself, oh, you did it, but you maybe you can do it better. You know, this kind of things maybe can help us to improve more.
that's it. What about you, Juliano? Are you good at judging your own strengths?
Yes, I think so. I think I can judge my own strengths. I think a lot of times, I can notice what I have that I consider very interesting, you know, but sometimes not. I remember that I saw a video on TikTok. I don't remember where I saw this video, but the guy said something like, it's very hard sometimes talk about ourselves, about our strengths, without without talk about what we do, what we do for a living, something like that. So I think, and I really agree because a lot of times when I talk about me, about my strength, I always have a connection with something that I do for a living, that I do for studies. So I think sometimes I can, but sometimes it's hard. It's something
Yeah,
funny to think because we always think, oh, I'm gonna talk about me, but no, we always talk sometimes about work, about things that we do for a living, about studies, but it's how I talk about you if I'll talk about what you do.
yeah. That's a great point. And even here in Talk and Talk, it's very common to, when people start their presentation talking, oh, my name is Victoria and I do that for a living. That's the first thing people say. And it's not like it's wrong or right, but it's interesting to see how most of the people present themselves and who they are, talking about their jobs, talking about what they do for a living. And that's one of the parts, but there's so much more. And I usually did that. I did that a lot for a lot of time, and I've changed. And for nowadays, I talk very less about my job here and with my friends actually, because I'm trying to understand not only for myself, but also for other people to understand who I am without my job, because I'm not my job. I'm so much more. My personality is not only about my job. And it's a process also, but there are people that, yeah, their job and what they do for a living are really part of who they are. For example, doctors or firefighters, like cops and stuff like that. These kind of professions is like really they brief that it's who they are. But and it's okay. Like I said, that's not wrong or right. It's like just a point.
For me, Vicky, it's interesting because maybe this situation, what you say, is have relationship with the most part of the. In my example, in my case, it's so difficult to say to talk about me and not talk about my job because the most part of my time I'm work. For example, normally I work for 10, 11, 12 hours a day. And I have the most part of the day I work, and a little bit part, some hours in a week and in a weekend, I have time to make other things. So if I don't talk, for example, and I need to make this exercise in the same weeks to talk about me, but I can't talk about my job and my family. Oh, it's over. I have a bigger problem because what's rest right now? Because if I don't talk about my job, about my family, about my job, um, I have I make a little bit uh, uh, things. I play, for example, I like to play an instrument, but I play one time a month, sometimes 2 times a month. I like to cookie, but I can do it 1 time a week or 2 times a week. So, and work. Oh, I need to work every day for a long hours. So maybe this point is common when the people say in the first time I'm da la la and I'm work with this. I do it. Maybe it's this is the point. Maybe.
Yeah, I understand, Jefferson, and I relate a lot to that because, for example, if you're working 8, 10, sometimes 12 hours a day, when you're going to present yourself, the first thing you think is, what do I do in my day? I work. So it's a big part of me. What do I do when I get home? I am with my family. So it's a big part of me, of who I am. And for me, when I was like swamped at work, I was working like 12 hours or more. I the most thing I thought about it was my work. And I was so very tired, wanted to talk about other stuff, but was like unconscious. I was talking about my work. Now I'm working hard to find other stuff that I like, to find other stuff that distracts my mind, and to find other interesting stuff because I was very caught up in my work, and I realized that okay, I'm like turning into my work. I'm not only that, but I'm turning into my work because I've been working a lot. And that's important for us to realize because when we present ourselves, like in your first presentation, you told me about your family, and I loved it. It was very nice. You have a musician family, your kids, your father, and it's important for us, even when we present ourselves, we like rediscover stuff about ourselves. It's like
But
you remember what you like when you're presenting yourself.
maybe because in the mind stay the recent uh, things like work, and the other
Yeah.
things are more deep in the heart. So when the person talk about um, have more, I don't know, near, can talk about the heart, but all the time is the first action It's about the mind. What I have in my mind right now, the work. I start to work at 7 a.m. I continue like 7 p.m. In my mind have work, work, work. I need to say about
Yeah,
me. I'm Jefferson. Work.
our
So if if have more time to talk and put the tooth can say about another thing. So I'm more than work. I have a family. I have hobbies. I have opinions. I have
yeah.
um, music likes. I have another situation. Maybe it's this.
We have another talker here, one colleague. He's called Lucas. Andrea knows him. It's very nice. He's studying a lot. And every time he's in an immersion, he presents himself in a different way. It's
Oh,
so nice. Every time he says something different. And when he began attending these immersions, I felt like, oh my God, why am I'm not doing this? Because I made an exercise because you have to think a lot about yourself and rediscover a lot of stuff. You remember him, Andrea?
yeah,
Good idea.
I remember. And Jefferson met Lucas yesterday.
Yeah,
He is a guy that lives in the same city as you.
Brizola.
Yeah,
yeah.
Brizola.
Oh, Brizola. I know
Yeah.
Brizola. Oh, so
He was
Brizola.
with us.
His presentation is so long. I don't have condition to talk for long time in the same. I need more. I need to practice more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sometimes it can be long, sometimes it can be short. Sometimes I talk like two sentences about myself. Sometimes a lot of stuff. Depends on our mood.
Yeah.
Let's go, Jefferson. Tell me one thing you admire about yourself.
Uh,
You can think, Andrea. Begin now.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
uh, what me admire myself? Um, it's difficult. Let me think a little bit. Probably the first one is about I don't know the word. Let me see. Perseverance. I'm so perseverant. Um, it's so difficult. I give up the any subject or anything. I normally insist. Uh, I always say I learn a lot of things, but isn't because I'm smart, but because I'm perseverant. I insist every time, and I learn it. Um, Nothing survives a hard work. So if you insist and try a lot, one time, probably one time you can do it. So maybe this is more uh, important point about when I have more. Uh, I forgot this word. It's more important for this moment. Maybe another point. I'm always I find to consider the position the other person. Like I don't know, we say empathy. Uh,
Okay.
it's so important, and I, I I think I have empathy all the time, and it's another point that I have proud about me.
That's great. That's very important as a human being to show empathy to other people because our lives and where we came from is so different from everybody else. So we have to considerate other people's position and point of view. That's very nice, Jefferson. Juliano, Tell me one thing you admire about yourself.
I think it's the same thing. I think I never give up, you know. If I really need build a wall, I build brick by brick, you know, without give up, you know. Let's brick by brick, and if the wall broke, I do it again, you know. I think since I was a kid, I always did it, you know. I really like to try and try and try. Sometimes I stop, and the other day I try again, you know. I can't talk about it because, you know, when I study some subject, a lot of times I have a lot of trouble, but I don't give up. I try until I really learn. And about other things like sometimes my computer broke, you know, something like that, and I need fix. I go and fix that. I remember when I was a kid, I think I was 11, 12, I don't remember. I remember that my computer always used to broke, and I used to took my computer for a tech guy, you know, to solve my problem. And one day I thought, oh, this guy always I don't know this word in English. I always need to pay, for example, 300 reais for this guy fix my computer. So I gonna try, you know, I don't know, see on YouTube and try solve this. If I can't, you know, I go and take my computer. And I remember that I need and I remember that I bought a CD to format my computer. I paid 10 reais in that time at that time, and I managed to do it, you know, and I made it. And I could, you know, save more than 200 reais.
Yeah.
You know?
YouTube is like the king that teaches us
Yeah, you know.
everything.
Yeah, so I really like this
So you
strength.
said you study computer science. Was that?
No, I study science and technology.
Okay, science and
Is
technology.
yes, is IT with science in general, you know, chemistry, uh, you know, and a lot of other kind of
Wow, that's
science, you
so
know.
interesting. At
Yes,
this,
it's
like in the same course.
yes, it's an interdisciplinary course, you know. We have a
Mm.
human subject, you know, science subjects, IT, a lot of other stuff. And after, when I finish this course, I can choose a specific one. And I'm gonna choose computer science, you know?
It's a graduation.
Yes, it's a graduation.
That's so different. I've never
Yeah,
heard about this interdisciplinary course. It must be very interesting, very nice.
it's very
And
nice,
yeah,
but
you have to be very resilient to study that because yeah,
yeah.
you fail, and you try
Yeah,
again, brick after brick, building the wall again. That's very nice. I loved your
yeah.
example about the wall. Andrea, so you can tell the same thing as the guys, that's okay, but you have to tell me something different as well.
Yeah, I think I will just, I don't know, change a little because the guy said about persistent, and I will say that I am really determined. You know, I think it's different because I've already given up a lot of times. You know, I am not like Juliano that, you know, like to go step by step, and I admire people like that a lot. But when I put something in my mind that put when it's something that I really like, I am really determined, you know. I am
Yeah.
really focused on it. So it's something that I admire in myself. And also I consider myself a really honest person, like transparent, you know. So I cannot hide my emotions, my feelings. I don't know. I think it's a great thing because people nowadays it's so empty. Sometimes, you know, like Jefferson said that there is a lack of empathy, and I think we need to have this empathy for, I don't know, understand people, understand life, you know.
Yeah, it's very, very nice that you have this, that you brought this, but I also have this perception of you. We've been talking in some immersion, and I feel like you're an honest person and a loyal friend. And that's something very important to have in our relationships in general. Because if we're not loyal and honest, first to ourselves and then to other people, we have to be honest with ourselves. Like Jefferson told us, I'm sure about what I want and what I don't know. I know about this. So it's important to know about what you want for you, what you don't want. And then after that, have developed your relationships with your family, partner, friends, and everybody else. It's very important.
Yeah.
For me, guys, one thing that I admire is that I don't, most of the times, obviously, it's not like um, generic, always like this and never like this, but most of the times I don't let fear stops me from doing what I want. When I am afraid of taking some steps, I study more about the possibilities. I read more the situation. I put in balance the possibilities, and I choose one thing. But I don't let fear stopping me anymore from doing what I want, because it already has time enough in my life. And I believe that living with regret of not doing something, or regret of doing it, it's a terrible thing, a terrible feeling to live it with. So it's one thing that I admire. Like, I take my fear in hand by hand, and I go. I just walk with fear and everything, and I go. I don't let it stop me anymore. And I guess for everybody, English is something like that. Like, take the fear and go, be resilient, and continue, participate, attend that immersion, show, present yourself. It's like a hard process, just like in other stuff in our lives.
And I have a phrase, Vicky, just to add your answer, that I like it so much. I think it's on my bio on X. Feel the fear and do it anyway, you know. So
Yeah,
just to
I
share.
love it. Love it.
Yeah.
Feel the fear and what? How is it?
Feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I connect a lot to that. Feel the
Yeah.
fear and do it anyway. That's very nice. Like, uh it's like what I feel about life. Do it anyway.
Yeah.
So
It's the definition to courage. Yes,
yeah.
courage is
Exactly.
exactly make fear, but do it.
Yeah, people used to think courage is about lack of fear, but definitely is not. It's not
No,
about lack of fear. Everybody's afraid of something. It's like that's it, feeling the fear and do it anyway. That's courage. Very
if
important.
if have not fear, have not courage. Courage
Yeah.
is together with fear.
Yeah, and if you don't have fear, it seems like you're not taking any risks, because why would you be afraid if there is any risks? So that's it.
Yeah.
So guys, our time is almost up. I just sent you the survey link, Jefferson and Juliana and Andrea also. I told you before, Jefferson, it's an anonymous link. I guess I told you in the last immersion. It's an anonymous link where you can leave your opinion, say, oh, Vic, I want to talk about this topic. So leave a suggestion, and I'll make the questions for the next immersions, and
I would
bring
like to
something
talk
you
about
like.
pão de queijo.
Pão de queijo, food. Let's talk about
I,
food. I love it.
I hate pão de queijo.
I'm gonna kick you out of my immersion right now.
Yeah. Let's see, Andrea. The obvious needs to say. I
Yeah,
hate
yeah.
communication.
Really? How so?
Yes. I don't know. I try to eat a lot of times, but I don't like. I like bread. I like cheese, but I
Not
hate
together.
communication.
Yeah, food it's something very interesting also because some people love something like people feels like everybody loves it, but there's always gonna be somebody that doesn't like chocolate, for example. I know some people who don't like chocolate. For me, it's like a shock. I love chocolate,
Yeah.
but there are some people who don't like. Different. So,
Terrible people.
guys, don't say that because you hate pão de queijo. So I would say you're a terrible
I,
terrible person.
I'm a terrible person too.
So, guys, I want to thank each one of you for being here tonight on this Thursday. I want to say good end of the week for you, good weekend, and I hope you had fun tonight because I had a lot of fun with you, and hope to see you next week. That's
Thank
it.
you,
Okay.
Vicky. It was